Cats often surprise us with their behavior and sensory abilities. But could those moments when we think that cats see things that are invisible be real? We've all seen our cat suddenly look up in the air and focus on a spot where nothing seems to be there. In this video, we'll explore the perceptual abilities of cats and whether they can actually see invisible creatures. Cats' advanced eyesight. Cats have a different vision to us. They see especially well in low light conditions. Thanks to a layer called tapetum lucidum at the back of the retina in their eyes, they better reflect the light entering their eyes, maximizing their ability to see even in the dark. That's why sometimes at night, your cat may move as if it's seeing things in the air. However, it could be a flash of light or a small movement that we can't perceive with our eyes. Cats' ability to hear in wide frequencies. In addition to their eyesight, cats have highly developed hearing. Cats can perceive sounds over a much wider frequency range than humans. This allows them to hear very low or very high frequency sounds. For example, your cat can easily detect the movement of an insect that you don't hear in the house, or the movement of small creatures in the walls. So sometimes it may seem like they are seeing something, but they may actually hear a sound coming from a very distant or different source. Electromagnetic waves and cats. Some scientists have suggested that cats can detect certain waves that are invisible to the human eye. For example, they are thought to have the ability to see ultraviolet light. Therefore, it's not too far-fetched to think that your cat can detect energy waves or vibrations that are invisible to the eye. Cats and supernatural perception. There are many legends about cats seeing invisible creatures or supernatural beings. Throughout history, cats have been associated with the supernatural and have even been considered mystical beings. In some cultures, cats are believed to be able to see spirits or ghosts. This belief is fueled by the fact that cats sometimes stare intently at a spot where there seems to be nothing in sight. However, there is no scientific evidence for such an ability. This may be due to the fact that cats only react to sensory cues that we don't recognize. Cats' sense of play and curiosity. When we observe the behavior of cats, we see how curious they are. Sometimes it's possible that they jump up in the air and look at unseen things, driven purely by their imagination or their desire to play. This can make us think that they see unseen beings. In fact, most of these actions are related to their instinctive play behavior. Now I want to tell you a story. It was midnight. I lived in an old apartment building, and my cat Loki usually wandered peacefully around the house at night. One night, however, I noticed that Loki kept focusing on the same spot, an empty corner of the living room. At first I thought he was playing, but then I started to feel uneasy because he kept his eyes fixed on one spot and growled softly. Even though I couldn't see anything, my cat seemed to sense that something was there. This continued for a week. Every night Loki would stare at that corner, and after a while he would retreat and hide. This started to bother me a lot. One night, I couldn't stand it and walked over to where my cat was looking. I felt a slight breeze in the living room, but the windows were closed. At that moment, a chill ran down my back. It was as if there was something I couldn't see, but I felt its presence. When I told my neighbor about the incident, I was shocked. It turned out that an old woman had passed away years ago in the apartment where I lived. She fell and hit her head right in the corner where my cat was looking. Since then, no one could stay there for long. My neighbor told me that my cat felt the spirit of that woman. This information was both frightening and plausible to me, because Loki's behavior was exactly in line with this story. After that, even though my cat still looks at that corner from time to time and I no longer know exactly what he sees, I began to believe that something was there. After this incident, my cat Loki still looked at that corner from time to time. I no longer try to guess what he feels or sees in these moments. I have accepted that the sensory world of cats is very different from ours. Maybe there really is something there that we cannot perceive. Maybe it is just Loki's instinctive reaction. But one thing is certain. Cats can sense much more than we can. Their world is much more mysterious and open to exploration than ours. In conclusion, while the question of whether cats can see the invisible remains unanswered, we do know that their world of perception is very different and wider than ours. Cats can perceive lights we can't see, sounds and vibrations we can't hear, and sometimes pay attention to things we don't notice. Thanks to these advanced senses, they can sometimes react in seemingly supernatural ways. Your cat's focused gaze may actually be the result of an in-depth study of its surroundings.